It's not because we are against compensation of victims. The Nyalenda brothers who were dragged from their mother's house and clobbered to death. So when we go to their mother and say we are compensating you for the death of your children, what happens to the people who killed those brothers? The Kianjokoma brothers. We have to bring people to account for their actions before we compensate for those victims. So if we rush to go to the victim compensation without criminal accountability to the perpetrators, then we have denied them justice.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Very viable arguments. So I am still stuck on the fact that you mentioned if Raila worked with Kibaki, he worked with Uhuru, and he's worked with President Ruto now. So you don't think he has the best interest while doing all these things for country?
They always say that the person who stabilizes the country is Raila Odinga.
That is true.
Who destabilizes the country for him to stabilize? Because he's the one who stabilizes. Then who destabilizes it? Because for you to stabilize something, it was destabilized in the first place.
So in your opinion, who does that and why?
That's the
Maybe
question.
The question should be the why.
The question is who? Because in the politics I've learned something. That for you to get credit, you create a problem and provide a solution. Then you take credit as a good person. That is not a very...
What are you saying to me?
I'm just saying politics has taught me some things. And nowadays I take everything with a pinch of salt. So this master stabilizer must tell us who destabilizes the country. If it's in the best interest of the country, what were the issues in 2007 that led to mass killing of the Kenyan people? Did we deal with those issues? We did not. They re-emerged in 2013 after 5 years.
Yeah.
People fought again. Did we deal with the issues? No. We swept them under the carpet. They re-emerged in 2017. We had a nullification of election. Baba Raila Odinga said he cannot go back to an election with an IEBC led by Chebukati. But he agreed to go to an election 2022 with an IEBC led by Chebukati. So what happened in 2017? Did we deal with the issues in 2017? No, we did not. It re-emerged again in 2022. The same issues we've not dealt with. We are talking about issues. We want to profile tribes that there are no issues, it's just this tribe that is against the people. We are sweeping them under the carpet. And one day I want to tell you that if the leadership is not very careful, we will have to remove the whole carpet in this room called Kenya and clean it.
When is that day?
I don't know. You know, God gave the leadership of this country a glimpse of what can happen if Kenyans decide to take matters in their own hands. It happened on June 25th last year. But they did not learn. They are still behaving the same way. It was just a small glimpse, then akafunga macho. They should have learned from that experience that Kenyans can decide one day to turn things upside down. They didn't. They squandered that chance. Today, they are telling us in our face that there is nothing we can do. We tried, they managed us, they can still manage us again. I can promise them that there is silence before the storm. They have a chance to make sure that the storm doesn't happen. But if they continue with the way they are doing things, everyone is not safe. They keep talking about peace and patriotism to the country.
Yeah.
Are they showing patriotism? How are you patriotic to a country when you want to finish everything that benefits the people? When education sector fails, who gets affected? It's the people.
Yeah.
The leadership has money to take their children, to fly their children overseas. When health fails, public health sector has failed. Who gets affected? It's the people. Because for them, they afford the best medicine around the world. So who is going to demand for accountability? It's these people. And it is very hard to control a people-led revolution. They think they are very smart. When I realize that when I use smartness, you are better placed to beat me, I will not use it. I'll use foolishness. You saw how ministers in Nepal had a rough day the other day.
Yeah.
They were forced to swim when they only swimming in swimming pools filled with mineral water. They had to swim. And I could see Kenyan bloggers paid by government condemning that action, that, young people in Nepal have banned their country, they will soon realize that it's better bad government than a no government at all. The Gen Zs of Nepal woke up the following day to clean the streets and appointed one person to be the leader of the country. Hapa Kenya unaulizwa Ruto anaenda halafu. Nepal is not very far away from here.
Well, it is quite far.
It's not very far.
It is. But do you think then Kenya is ripe for a revolution?
Every time we talk about politics, the word revolution doesn't miss. That's a sign that we could be ripe for a revolution.
Or else, what defines a revolution also?
The thing people are fighting for is that they are not seeing the fruits of their labor. You work so hard.
Yeah.
You get, but what you get cannot be enough to sustain your life. You see someone there who does not work as hard, he has more than enough. When you are struggling to pay rent, some people have enough money to plant skyscrapers like seeds. It captures the attention of the people. That what are we doing wrong that those ones are doing right? How comes they have a lot of money, but we don't have? Such questions are dangerous. When you live in a country where 22 million people cannot afford a meal, they wake up every day thinking about what they are going to eat next. When those people decide that you, the leadership, are the ones responsible for our misfortunes, what do you do? So when we talk about the country being led the right way, we are talking in the interest of everyone, both the leader and the people. Make sure that the people have something so that when you imagine burning Nairobi and you have 2 stalls of second-hand clothes, you take some steps back because you have something you are going to lose when Nairobi burns.
Yeah.
What if you don't have anything in Nairobi? You don't have anything to lose apart from your miserable life. So how can someone convince you about peace and stability? Can you be stable when you can't afford school fees for your children? You're not. So what other stability are you talking about? So the leadership must understand that the people, the biggest issue is because the resources are not getting to where they are supposed to be.
Okay.
And that's the biggest issue.
And that's the